Staying with the WNBA playoffs, let's stay here. Let's just say the ratings aren't the same with Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever now eliminated.
The WNBA playoff ratings just became a massive train wreck. Game 1 of Liberty Aces semifinals, only 929,000 viewers. That's less than 30% of what the Fever Sun Game 2 pulled in with Caitlin Clark, which peaked at 3.4 million. But wait, it gets worse. Game 1 of the Sunlink semifinals, a measly 650,000 viewers. That's an 80% nosedive. And Game 2, a flat-out snooze. What's going on here?
By the way, not only was viewership down, but attendance was as well.
The WNBA is facing a crisis, and it all points back to one player, Caitlin Clark. Her absence has left a gaping hole in viewership, and fans are tuning out in droves. But why? What made Clark so special that her early exit could cause such a seismic shift? In this video, we're about to uncover the truth behind this ratings collapse, from the controversial eye poke incident to the referee drama that plagued Clark's entire season, to the outright disrespect of WNBA management. We'll expose it all. And trust me, when you see the full impact of the Clark effect, or lack thereof, now that she's out resting at home, you won't believe your eyes. Before we break it down, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Are you ready? Let's go.
Caitlin Clark is the golden goose. Not most, not all, but some people spent some time resenting her for it. Came out there and did her thing. Rookie of the year, 4th in the league for MVP voting, assist leader, one of the top leading scorers after the Olympic Games. She put on a show, validating all the attention she was receiving. A rising tide lifts all boats. If folks were more receptive to it, even more moments would have arrived.
Think you know the full story of Caitlin Clark's impact? Think again. Her debut season didn't just break records. It shattered expectations and reshaped the WNBA landscape. But the league may have made a critical mistake in how they handled their new superstar. Let's break down the Clark phenomenon. This superstar stormed onto the court, averaging an impressive 19.2 points and 8.4 assists per game, and shattering 62 records in the process. Not just good, she led the entire league in assists and three-pointers for the season, setting the single-season record with 337 assists. That's not just a great season, that's historic. But here's where it gets wild. Clark didn't just play well, she transformed the entire viewing experience. Regular season games featuring Caitlin Clark, they pulled in a whopping 1.178 million viewers on average. Now, compare that to games without her. We're talking about an almost 70% drop difference. That's not just an impact. That's a seismic shift in the WNBA's viewership landscape.
And the Fever are going to be over 200,000 higher than the next highest total attendance in league history. Clarkonomics, my friend!
And it wasn't just about eyes on screens. Clark's influence extended far beyond the court. Her jersey became the top-selling rookie jersey in WNBA history. Fans weren't just watching, they were buying in, literally. She wasn't just playing the game, she was changing the game's entire economy.
The top-selling WNBA player merch, Caitlin Clark, #1 in jersey sales, Angel Reese 2, Sabrina 3, Kate Martin 4.
The Clark effect reached its peak during the playoffs. Her debut, a staggering 1.84 million viewers tuned in, setting a record for WNBA playoff viewership since 2000. And it didn't stop there. Her second playoff game, the viewership peaked at 3.4 million. We're losing track of how huge the numbers are with her. Clark's teammate, Kelsey Mitchell, summed it up perfectly. I think the reality of it is that I don't think people would know us without Caitlin. This wasn't just about one player's performance. It was about elevating the entire league's visibility.
You've changed the world in so many ways. You've done it with so much grace. And I'm so happy to take the floor with you.
The impact was felt beyond TV ratings. Clark wasn't just a player. She was a phenomenon, drawing crowds and creating an atmosphere that the WNBA hadn't seen in years. But here's where things get complicated. The WNBA's reliance on Clark's star power has exposed a vulnerability. With her early exit from the playoffs, the league is facing a harsh reality. How do you maintain interest when your golden goose is no longer in the game? We'll explore more later the controversy behind her games against the Sun and the startling trend we've seen all season long.
There's a league with players that feel like they should be getting the attention. Now they have center stage, but the ratings are going to go down. How far, though? That's the key.
This situation has sparked intense debate. Some argue that the media's portrayal of Clark's impact is overblown. Jamele Hill called it irresponsible. But even critics can't deny the numbers. Hill herself acknowledged that ratings would be higher if Clark were still playing. It's a complex issue, highlighting the delicate balance between celebrating star power and building a sustainable league. The WNBA now faces a crucial challenge. How can they capitalize on the interest Clark generated and translate it into long-term growth? Can they even do it? And what changes need to be made to ensure the league protects the actual product? The safety of players, the consistency of officiating, and the joy of competition. If you've made it this far and are enjoying the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. We know watching this video takes some of your time, and we appreciate you. Now back to the action.
We all realize where the credit needs to be given as far as the success of this WNBA season. Caitlin Clark came in and made such an impact on how many people started to care about the WNBA. This was the highest viewed season in the history of the league. In 28 years, the numbers were stellar. Caitlin Clark drew a whole new fan base into it. And now the question is, because she has been eliminated, she and the Indiana Fever are eliminated after losing 2 games to the Connecticut Sun. What is the rest of the season going to look like, ratings-wise, for the WNBA? Are people still going to care? That is the question.
As the WNBA looked to build on its newfound momentum thanks to Clark, a perfect storm of controversy was brewing. From a contentious on-court incident to a bizarrely lackluster award ceremony, the league's treatment of its brightest new star raised serious questions about its future. The eye poke incident in Game 1 of the playoffs sent shockwaves through the basketball world. Caitlin Clark, the rookie sensation who had single-handedly elevated the WNBA's profile, took a devastating hit to her eye. Fans watched in disbelief as the game continued without a foul call, sparking outrage and concern for player safety.
As everyone else has seen this angle.
This wasn't just any ordinary play. It was a moment that potentially altered the entire course of the playoffs. Clark's vision was impaired, affecting her performance in a crucial game. The Fever, riding high on Clark's incredible season, suddenly found themselves at a disadvantage. But the implications stretched far beyond a single game or series.
I'm calling her in, and I'm saying to her, I need answers.
The incident brought long simmering issues in the WNBA to the surface. Player safety, always a concern, now took center stage. How could such a blatant and dangerous play go uncalled? It wasn't just fans asking this question. Players, coaches, and analysts all voiced their concerns about the league's commitment to protecting its athletes. But the eye poke was just the beginning. Throughout the season, a troubling pattern emerged. Clark was the recipient of an astonishing 17% of all flagrant fouls recorded. One player, targeted with nearly a fifth of the league's most severe penalties, it raised eyebrows and serious questions about officiating consistency.
Okay, by now I'm sure you've seen Skylar Diggins assault Caitlin Clark after Indiana blew out Seattle.
Were referees failing to protect the league's new superstar? Or was Clark being unfairly targeted by opponents? Either way, it exposed a glaring weakness in the WNBA's ability to manage its most valuable assets, the players who bring fans to their feet night after night. The controversy didn't end on the court. When it came time to honor Clark's historic season, the league fumbled again.
You just have somebody that wants to say a couple things really quick.
So, hi, Coach Side. This is WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert. Do we have the team all together?
Hello. Hey, yes, ma'am.
What a record-breaking season for you and the entire team, full of outstanding performances.
The Rookie of the Year announcement, a moment that should have been a celebration of Clark's impact, was reduced to a simple phone call.
Congratulations, Caitlin. You are the 2024 Kia WNBA Rookie of
For a player who had shattered records, filled arenas, and brought unprecedented attention to the league, it felt like a slap in the face. Other awardees got their trophies in front of an adoring crowd. And what did Kathy Engelbert do? Just send it in the mail. I mean, the crowd of every game is rooting for the Fever anyway. They could have done it in front of the Connecticut crowd in Game 2. Fans and media alike were baffled. How could the WNBA mishandle such a golden opportunity? Clark had proven herself to be more than just a rookie. She was a transformative force for the entire league. Yet, instead of a grand ceremony or press conference, they opted for the bare minimum. This series of missteps exposed a troubling disconnect between the WNBA's potential and its current reality. On one hand, they had a once-in-a-generation talent-driving interest and viewership to new heights. On the other, they seemed ill-equipped to capitalize on this momentum and protect their most valuable assets. But beyond the numbers, these controversies raised fundamental questions about the WNBA's future. How can a league grow and thrive if it can't ensure the safety of its players? What message does it send when its brightest new star is treated with such apparent disregard? And where is Commissioner Kathy Engelbert all this?
These fans came to Central Indiana from Newfoundland, Canada? And you're here why?
Just to see the Beaver game, Caitlin Clark.
Busy promoting rivalries as a form of marketing and dismissing the generational impact of Clark by saying, it's never about one player.
I noticed when you're asking about Caitlin a lot, you bring up other rookies as well.
No league's ever about one player. That player could get hurt or whatever. So I think it's just to give recognition that in sports, people watch for compelling content and rivalries.
The absence of Caitlin Clark has torn open the curtain on deeper issues plaguing the WNBA. From surprising playoff upsets to internal team drama, the league's foundation is shaking. The Las Vegas Aces, back-to-back champions and seemingly unstoppable force, now find themselves in unfamiliar territory. Down 1, win 2 losses against the New York Liberty in the semifinals, the Aces are facing more than just elimination. They're battling an identity crisis that threatens to unravel their dynasty. Coach Becky Hammon didn't mince words after their Game 2 loss. We gave up 16 layups. That's obscene, she fumed, exposing the cracks in the Aces' once impenetrable defense. But it's not just about missed assignments or poor rotations. There's a deeper issue at play, one that cuts to the very core of what it means to be a professional athlete in today's social media-driven world.
The whole league has been pissed off for the last 8 months, and my players are in commercials and this and that and being freaking celebrities, and you get distracted.
Hammon's frustration boiled over as she called out her players for losing focus on what truly matters. We've got players worried about commercials. We're becoming freaking celebrities instead of basketball players, she lamented. It's a stark reminder that even at the highest level, the allure of fame can derail a team's championship aspirations. This internal struggle within the Aces highlights a broader challenge facing the WNBA. How does a league balance the need for star power and marketability with the fundamental goal of competitive excellence? The Caitlin Clark phenomenon showed just how much a single transcendent player can elevate the entire sport. But now, with Clark sidelined, the league is grappling with a harsh reality. They may have become too reliant on individual star power at the expense of overall product quality. The numbers don't lie. Playoff ratings have taken a nosedive without Clark on the court. ESPN, sensing the shift in viewer interest, has even moved some playoff games to ESPN2, a clear sign that they're projecting decreased demand. It's a far cry from the packed arenas and record-breaking viewership that defined the regular season.
And now she's out of the playoffs.
But here's where things get interesting. While the Aces struggle with their newfound celebrity status, other teams are seizing the opportunity to reshape the league's narrative. The Indiana Fever, despite their early playoff exit, have shown that building around young talent and a joyful team, alongside Clark, can create a sustainable model for success both on and off the court. So, where does the WNBA go from here? The league must find a way to harness the star power of players like Clark, while also investing in the overall product. This means addressing issues of player safety, ensuring fair officiating, and creating a system that rewards team success as much as individual accolades. The current playoff struggles of the Aces serve as a cautionary tale. A team stacked with individual talents isn't guaranteed success if they lose sight of their collective goal. ESPN's decision to relegate games to a lesser network should be a wake-up call. The WNBA needs to take a hard look at its marketing strategies, its player development programs, and its overall league operations to ensure long-term sustainability. The interest behind the WNBA was clearly driven by Clark. With her gone, ratings have plummeted, exposing the league's vulnerability. But this crisis could be a turning point. The WNBA must address the issues that drove fans away in the first place. Fair officiating and player safety can't be afterthoughts. Fans want to see their favorites protected and treated with respect. The league's future depends on it. If the WNBA learns from Clark's impact and builds a stronger foundation, women's basketball could reach new heights. The potential is there. Now it's time for action. Let us know in the comments. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.